Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here in Foley Square, today, Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024. We're covering the federal courts, and sometimes you're covering one thing and you stumble on another, such as, yesterday, I was covering the magistrate's court here in the tall building behind me, 500 Pearl. I'll get to that in a moment. There was a case of an Uzbek guy in a tracksuit that actually raises separation of powers issues. But as I was waiting for these and other cases, two senior assistant U.S. attorneys came into the magistrate's court, and they said this is a superseder. And it was pretty clear. And I put on not only Twitter, but this new subscription Twitter. Every once in a while I'll do one of those, and I did it. That it was definitely Menendez, because these were the two U.S. attorneys that are on that case. And it was. There's a superseding indictment in U.S. versus Menendez, and it involves an expansion of the time of the charged crimes to 2023, and significantly, a scheme to take bribes from and assist Qatar. Qatar, a small petro-state punching well above its weight with money, buying the United Nations is totally bought. As we pronounced yesterday, they put Qatar State TV on UN TV. They've basically been subsumed by it. It's a redirect. It's a internet redirect to Qatar. But I digress. So there's the Menendez superseder, but you'll find that elsewhere. Here's what you will not find elsewhere: the case of U.S. versus Akramov. He's a gentleman. He's an Uzbek asylum seeker, let's say. He was charged federally of a crime in Texas, served some time, and is on supervised release. Then they lost track of him. He came across, I'm going to turn this around because I'm here in Foley Square. Behind me, there, Federal Plaza. He went because he's looking for asylum. So he went there and he was arrested by ICE on December 20th. And he was basically out of commission and disappeared between the 20th and yesterday, January 2nd, when he appeared in magistrate's court. Now, the Judge Cott, said, this seems like taking a sledgehammer to an ant. This is maybe he didn't even understand that he was supposed to be in touch with probation. In any event, what are we doing here? Because if they were to send him back to Texas, it would be via Oklahoma. It would take weeks. It would be absurd. So the judge started saying he was going to release him, but then the marshal said, no, even if you order him released, we're going to hold him for ICE. And the judge said, by what authority? And there really wasn't a clear answer. As it turned out, the issue was finessed by him ordering release but staying it for 24 hours so that the U.S. Attorney's Office could appeal his release order. But the question is where to appeal. As soon as he said you can appeal to Judge Caproni, who's here in 40 Foley behind me on the 4th floor, and where I'm headed as soon as I'm done shooting this vlog here on the square, then the prosecutor said, no, we're appealing to the district judge in Texas. Judge Cott didn't like that at all and said, this sounds like basically like you're going to take your ball and go home. It seemed like he might just release him. It was going to be a total separation of powers, as I said, standoff, because there's the judiciary, there's the executive branch. But it's been finessed at least through today, 5 o'clock. And we're going to be pursuing that case and many others. Various sentencings, an MCC bribery case, and of course, the looming, they say, unsealing of Jeffrey Epstein-related documents in Giuffre versus Maxwell. We are monitoring that minute by minute, but thus far, watch this feed and also Twitter subscriptions. InnerCityPress.com, to be continued.